What the hell is going on? Oh my God! Has to be the absolute worst moment in my broadcasting career.
It was probably the most heat you could have dumped on us all at once at one time.
Here came the cops and the tear gas and the whole 9 yards.
Probably the closest I'd personally ever felt to being in a riot.
We were over at Vince's while he's getting the phone calls.
Riots with tear gas in the parking lot. This is real.
Unbelievable situation right here.
I was thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to get out of this arena alive.
That was a night.
Now where do we go from here?
Wrestling might be scripted, but when emotions boil over, things get real. From flaming chairs flying through the air to state troopers battling through angry crowds with tear gas, there have been nights when storylines push fans past their breaking point. Join us in this video as we look at all the explosive moments where the crowd stopped watching the show and became part of it. This is wrestling's wildest riots. July 1996, Daytona Beach, Florida. Hulk Hogan, the ultimate good guy of the 80s, strides to the ring at Bash at the Beach. Fans roar, thinking their hero is about to save the day.
When I went out, it looked like I was coming out to save Macho Man.
What the crowd didn't realise in that moment was that behind the curtain, Hogan had been quietly plotting something far bigger than anyone could imagine. A move that would flip the wrestling world on its head.
I had seen Scott come in, I'd seen Kevin come in, and I'd seen the edge they put on the bad guy. I said, if I can not be Hulk Hogan, but if I can do this thing as Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and come in with a really nasty edge on, I'll do it.
We were in Daytona Beach. I would say probably 12 people probably knew the third person.
As I was on my way out to that ring, I was thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to get out of this arena alive. Oh my gosh, how much stuff are they going to throw? Oh my gosh, are they going to have a riot?
In a shocking turn of events, and from out of nowhere, Hogan leg drops the Macho Man and reveals he's been the outsider's secret partner all along. The crowd reaction is immediate and visceral. Decades of child hero worship implode. Fans boo at ear-splitting volume as Hogan grabs the mic and tells them to shove it.
You fans can stick it, brother! Unbelievable situation right here at Bash at the Beach. Hulkamania, the third guy with the outsiders.
People wanted to hate Hulk Hogan. Now they had a legitimate reason.
The ring floods with garbage, beer cans, popcorn, anything fans can grab. It's a blizzard of trash like wrestling on a grand stage has never seen before.
I had never been in a building where people threw stuff in the ring. And the fans started showering the ring, whatever they got their hands on.
I never thought I'd see people throwing debris at Hulk Hogan.
The ring filled up with so much crap. I said, oh my God, we got some heat.
As far as I'm concerned, all this crap in the ring represents these fans out here.
The air is electric with danger. Hogan's betrayal has the audience enraged, unleashing years of pent-up emotion in one giant chaotic release.
Look at Hogan. He looks like he's going to break up.
I was in the middle of the ring. That night, all of a sudden, all the garbage from the streets of Daytona Beach ended up in the ring.
This has to be the absolute worst moment in my broadcasting career.
Security can't contain the braying mob. One man even vaults the barricade, sliding into the ring to protest and reason with Hogan. Bad move. He's immediately dispatched by Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
What do we got here? We got a fan coming in.
I had to clip a guy. Some fat drunk came underneath the bottom rope. I had to clip him.
The formation of the NWO nearly caused a full-scale riot, with Hulk Hogan having to leave under armed guard. Those in attendance that night would later go on to say that it felt like the crowd was going to tear the building down. While the events of that evening sent shockwaves through the industry, it looked like kindergarten in comparison to what was about to happen at a WWF show.
Unless you were there that night, it's hard to put into words and describe the feeling that was in the air.
If you thought Hulk Hogan's heel turn was extreme, just wait until you hear this, brother. Little Rock, Arkansas, 1997. A packed arena is gearing up for what they believe is a live TV taping. Except there's no cameras, There's no pyro, and that distinctive commentary desk is nowhere to be seen.
It was a night that you would normally think was a TV taping, but was not. They had advertised it as Raw coming to town.
As it dawns on fans that they've paid for tickets to a house show rather than what was advertised, the atmosphere starts to turn. After a series of underwhelming contests, a casket match between The Rock and The Undertaker that lasted only 2 minutes was the final nail in the coffin. During an in-ring segment with Shawn Michaels, fans start to throw projectiles into the ring. Never one to shy away from controversy, HBK gets on the mic and is alleged to have told the fans the show is over.
When they started throwing the cups and shit, he just took it upon himself, say, okay, fuck it, there ain't gonna be no fucking match, and fucking left and takes Helmsley with him.
In seconds, all hell breaks loose. Fistfights erupt in the stands, with one group of young men dragging down a security guard, ripping off his shirt and setting it alight. Arena staff, officials and wrestlers flee as the riot spreads to the concourse, with whole seating areas on fire. Backstage was chaos. Officials crowded around Shawn Michaels, urging him to return to the ring. They even promised a wall of security to escort him, hoping that his presence would calm the crowd. But Michaels, still furious from his earlier walkout, wasn't having any of it.
Fucking Michaels would not go back out and do anything to fucking help the situation, and turn down all opportunities or efforts to be given extra security to go back out and do what they're supposed to do.
In a scene that wouldn't look out of place in Squid Games, armed police storm the building and tear gas the hallways to disperse the mob. Dozens of fans are arrested as the arena becomes a smoky battleground. Double J Jeff Jarrett, who performed on the card that evening, recalls leaving the arena. "I put my butt on the road," he said. "I wasn't going to stop until I got to Hendersonville. I was getting out of there."
Riots with tear gas in the parking lot. This is real.
In fact, according to Jarrett, things got so out of hand that the police had to escort Shawn Michaels and Triple H out of town at high speed, pushing them 10 miles past the arena before they were sure the mob of furious fans had finally been shaken off their tail. Jim Cornette, who wasn't there that night but got reports about what had happened, would later give his take on the whole ordeal. In his view, Shawn Michaels didn't just act like a spoiled child, he made a volatile situation far worse, escalating an already hostile crowd and leaving lasting resentment among the fans that night.
Here came the cops and the tear gas and the whole 9 yards. Yeah, it was a big major fucking deal because Shawn Michaels made a bad situation worse, as he did in almost every situation he was in back in those days.
Cornette remembers receiving calls about the incident during an emergency meeting at Vince McMahon's house.
We were over at Vince's while he's getting the phone calls. From everybody. Pissed off, building pissed off. Shit got set on fire. JR came over and talked about it because it was a talent relations issue. Because he said, well, Shawn said he was unsafe.
The events in Arkansas will go down in history as one of the most dangerous WWF shows of all time. But when it comes to pure emotional fury from a crowd, few WWF events can compare to what happened across the pond. Birmingham, England, 1997. The British Bulldog is defending his European Championship in front of thousands of die-hard British fans. He's even dedicated the match to his terminally ill sister in the audience. The atmosphere is beyond intense. Bulldog must retain his title. Enter Shawn Michaels, cocky, ruthless, and flanked by his DX compadre Triple H.
It's one of those things very vividly stands out in my mind, and the whole European title, being in England, Davey having it, that was something special.
The wild match ends in a shock. Against all odds, Shawn Michaels defeats Bulldog in a screwjob finish right in front of his friends and family. A stunned silence, then pure fury. In a moment that Triple H has likened to a riot, the crowd are inconsolable and enraged.
Having this real moment for taking the European title off of the biggest star from Britain, it was probably the most heat you could have dumped on us all at once at one time.
Michaels relishes the reaction, smirking as he grabs the British flag and taunts the audience, cutting a mocking promo over Bulldog's fallen body. The scene is absolute pandemonium. A powder keg of national pride and betrayal exploded in one night.
It was legit there. People were throwing bottles at us, and it was, at that point in time, probably the closest I'd personally ever felt to being in a riot.
Adding insult to injury, according to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer, the Bulldog was only told a week out that he wasn't going over.
And I was told by Davey that he was going to, when he was in England, that he was going to go over, that's why he had his sister there and all that stuff. And that was Davey's a big moment for him. I think I was stunned when they changed the finish. Shawn and Triple H changed the finish.
For Triple H, the manner of Michaels' victory was a significant moment in the ascent of D-Generation X.
When we came back, we knew we had done, like, something had just changed, you know. It really set the stage for what we were.
While the crowd that night felt betrayed and they made their anger known, they never crossed the line, they never lost control, and they never threw furniture. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ECW. Philadelphia, 1994. While not a riot in its typical sense, this incident is worthy of a mention because, well, frankly, it's insane.
Me and Terry in a singles match. Terry says, ask them for a chair. I said, give me a chair.
A wild brawl is underway involving Mick Foley, Terry Funk, and Public Enemy. Exhausted and battered, Terry Funk shouts for a chair from the crowd.
At first came one, and then came two.
As security plead with fans to stop, chairs litter the mat like a scrapyard. Even by ECW standards, this is extreme, and within minutes, a tsunami of steel is crashing into the ring.
200 chairs, maybe 300, to the point where the Public Enemy were literally no longer visible underneath.
And in a sentence you often don't hear said aloud, thankfully Mick Foley had the foresight to bounce before things got dangerous.
Yeah. I thought it was quite a spectacle until I got clipped in the head, and then I bailed out.
December 1987, Tokyo, Japan. Across the world, Japanese wrestling fans have a reputation for being quiet and respectful. Not tonight. In the ring, national hero Antonio Inoki lies defeated. Not just defeated, demolished in under 3 minutes by monstrous newcomer and American export, Big Van Vader. Fans rip up the cushions they've been sitting on and set them on fire. Inoki's defeat had incensed a normally reserved crowd into a blaze of anger. Riot police swarm in, but it takes them over an hour to restore order. Vader, hustled out by security, barely escapes a mob that wants his blood. So intense was the riot that New Japan Pro Wrestling was banned from the Sumo Hall for 2 years as punishment. Cleveland, Ohio, 1974. Now, not every riot is as well remembered, but the chaos in Cleveland in '74 might just be the wildest of them all. It's a cold January night at the old Cleveland Arena. Popular football hero turned wrestler Ernie Big Cat Ladd faces local favourite Johnny Powers in a high-stakes match. Suddenly, the towering villain Ox Baker bursts into the ring. Baker, every bit the menacing figure, joins Powers in a treacherous beatdown of Ladd. A quiet hush descends over the crowd. And then, all hell breaks loose. They called it the worst riot of all time, Johnny Powers recalled. The mob of fans storm the ringside, fists swinging. Baker and Powers run for their lives as the ring is pelted with debris. In the frenzy, Ox Baker even catches a chair to the head, leaving a 14-inch scar as a grim souvenir.
As you know, I had quite a few stitches put in my head. Like the riot in Cleveland, even then the fans that hit me, I didn't hit back because I felt that I was the one working them up. Why should I be mad at them?
The image of Cleveland's faithful literally fighting for lads' honour, chairs soaring, people screaming, illustrates the raw tribal passion of the territory days. It was sports fanaticism turned to a riot, a story passed down as local legend in wrestling circles. In this video, we've journeyed through some of wrestling's most outrageous moments, and we haven't even scratched the surface. There were riots in Puerto Rico so dangerous that even hardened villains feared for their lives. There were melees in Texas and Stampede, Mid-South and Memphis, and many, many more wild nights that could fill volumes. Not every riot can be covered in one sitting, and not every detail comes with certainty. Wrestling history lives in a haze of smoke and memory, retold and sometimes exaggerated by those who swear I was there. As the saying goes, when the legend becomes fact, print the legend. But one thing is undeniable: when the boundary between performance and passion snaps, the resulting chaos is very real and very dangerous. Thanks for watching, and if you want to fall down more batshit crazy wrestling rabbit holes, give us a subscribe.